So as it turns out, more Americans than ever are finding themselves on the good side of an 800 credit score. So what benefits come with that score and what should you be doing to take advantage of it? We're talking about credit and more in today's episode, so stick around. So you've been working on your credit score for some time now, right? And hopefully the videos on this channel have helped you do so faster, and you're now sitting with a score of 800 or better. Congratulations, you're killing it. Now, if not, don't worry, you can certainly make that happen just like the rest of us. And I'd still recommend that you watch the rest of today's video so that you know what you're aiming for once you get there. I'll also link a credit score playlist in the description below that's full of tips and tricks to help you get that score higher. Knowledge is power, folks. Cash flow plus education is power. So maybe you find yourself on the good side of 800 for the very first time, or you're very nearly there and asking yourself, well, now what? Why all this hard work? What's the effort all about? How do I take advantage of this credit score? The benefits should go beyond just bragging rights, although those are fun too. And of course, they do. So let's look at 4 of the most useful benefits to having an 800 plus credit score. The first is that you're much more likely to be approved. When you apply for new credit and you show an 800, they actually will treat you differently than if you don't. You got to be careful with this one though. Taking on too many new accounts in too little time frame will negatively impact your effect on the score, so make sure you're spacing out new accounts strategically. Number 2 here is that 800 plus credit scores is going to help qualify you for better credit cards with better rewards. Credit cards and their rewards are awesome. If you use them correctly, they're awesome. If you're responsible in using them wisely to create wealth, they're awesome. I've used them to cover the cost of vacations. Recently, I used them to purchase things for my short-term rental property in BV and all things that improve my quality of life. And it's easier to stack these points when you utilize your credit cards for as many necessary expenses as possible. Just this year alone, I've managed to collect over $2,500 in cash back, and it's only August. Now, you're gonna wanna spend that money anyway. So if you're already budgeting for these items, why not get something back for it? Now, statistically, according to Ramsey, 78% of people are more likely to spend more money because of that added availability and because of the temptation of earning rewards. You've got to be sure to pay your cards in full each month when doing this, as any interest costs that are incurred will quickly erase the benefits that are gained. If you're one of the 22% that is wise with your money, if you're responsible with your money, then absolutely generate the rewards. The third area that an 800 credit score will benefit you is qualifying for lower interest rates and higher credit limits. Now, when it comes to credit cards, we do want them to be paid in full each and every month, so the lower rates aren't as important there. And frankly, even the higher limits can be negligible simply because we're paying these before the statement closing deadline. Another technique here on the channel. But for things like lines of credit, auto loans, mortgages, lower interest rates are actually a huge win. Getting higher credit limits because of your 800 plus credit score is a big win as well. Even though we're paying off auto loans in a fraction of the time, even though we're paying off mortgages in 5, 6, 7 years instead of 30, having that rate benefit will pay off. The higher the limit when it comes to a lot of the debt weapons we talk about, the more positive an effect it can have on your utilization ratio as well. Even if credit cards are not necessarily a target because we're paying them off, using some of these other tools to build businesses and invest in real estate, you'll want the bigger limit for that so that the heavy penalty for utilization is minimized. Thus, having a positive effect on your credit score. Now remember, credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. Paying your bills on time is only worth 35%, my friend. So knowing that you have very low balances compared to what's available to you is really important. So the higher amount that they're willing to offer you means that the amount that you're using will not be as influential. The fourth benefit of having an 800 is that the most interesting and useful types of credit accounts become available to you. A good example of this is in a recent video I did talking about a HELOC I got on one of my rental properties. Home equity lines of credit can be a very powerful tool for a savvy investor and business owner. And a non-owner occupied home equity line of credit is considered to be the holy grail to many. Now, keep in mind that there are other factors at play beyond just credit scores that help me secure that debt weapon. And even if you're in an area where home equity lines of credit are not easy or impossible to come by, there are other tools that we can use instead of the home equity lines of credit where an 800 credit score is a plus and will certainly play a role. So how have you utilized your 800 plus credit score? Are you close to having an 800 plus credit score? Go ahead and comment below. Had a really great conversation recently with Mike talking about his recent 800 credit score, and having gone into the bank to apply for a debt weapon himself, was actually treated differently than he's ever been treated before. They started to talk to him differently, offering him things. Believe me, when you are using these, you will be able to leverage this into a profile that looks very favorable to the people with the money that you want. Go ahead and comment below. I'd love to hear about how credit's playing a role in your individual experience. As always, make sure you drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I want you to be alerted every time news, tips, strategies are coming up that we can go ahead and alert you to. Until we see you on the next video, my friend, make it a great day today and take care. Alrighty, so I realize that some of you have not gotten one of the single most popular budgeting tools available, not to mention it's free, and that is called the Cash Flow Cruncher. So what I want to do today is walk you through the process of downloading your very own copy. It comes in the form of an Excel spreadsheet, so it's very easy to use, and it's quick to navigate. So let's go ahead and walk through that process together. The first thing you'll do is in the search menu, you'll go to cashflowcruncher.com, which will take you to the download page. Simply type your email address into the field to claim your free copy, and go ahead and select the red button. Immediately it'll pull up the download button, which will open a new Cashflow Cruncher spreadsheet. Now you can see I've already got a copy open and enlarged here for you to see. The first page it'll open is the Cash Flow Summary tab, which is a non-editable page. It's very important to understand that this opening tab will not require you to put any information into these fields. This actually imports the data from the other tabs below. Now, if you've ever used an Excel spreadsheet, you'll navigate the spreadsheet by going to individual pages down here. And it'll start with the revenue and assets page. On this page, you'll want to itemize each individual income that you bring into the household or the business. Now, it's always been my recommendation that you create an individual cash flow cruncher for your businesses, an individual cash flow cruncher for your real estate, and an individual cash flow cruncher for your household.